Hi, it's Mike and Arlen, our Philippine journey. You know what? First off, thank you for stopping in. This may be one of the most important, impactful videos that you will see about the Philippines. This really and truly is something that if you're going to be in a relationship, a long distance relationship, an in person relationship, you thinking of getting married, you are married, it doesn't matter. This applies to you and it applies in ways you don't even know yet for most people. So let's talk about it.
I never got it, why'd you have to go? I guess this world's too slow for you. I think there's beauty in the gray, the cold, but you just want the gold. And there's no way I can beat it, cause I got no chance, no chance when it comes to her. She got the glitter and the fame, and I just wasn't enough.
Okay, before we get started, first off, thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. Number two, if you find this informative, if you find it entertaining, if you find it whatever, we would love it if you hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, the notify bell, and even share it amongst maybe your Facebook friends. Now, let's talk about utang. And we're going to tell you three things here. First, we're going to tell you what it is. Then we're going to tell you how it works. And then we're going to tell you how it impacts you in ways that don't have anything to do with one and two. And it is significant. All right. So, what is utang? Spelled it below. All right. Utang is debt. DEBT, debt. That's what it means. Whether it doesn't matter, we have all of these blogs that tell you never loan money to the family, you never give money to the family, you never support a family. These are all choices that are yours. I find it difficult to believe that nobody gives any money to the relatives. I really and truly do. Limited exceptions, whatever. But I'm going to tell you where most of it comes from. And it's not just in the provinces. In fact, it's highly prevalent in the bigger cities as well. And we're going to tell you about it. Debt. Utang. Now, what is commonly referred to here as 5/6, 5/6. It's typically really loan sharking is what it is. And it is far more prevalent than you think. It is 5,000 pesos. You can do the ratio, the numbers can be anything. The ratios can be different. But generally, it's 5,000 pesos for 6,000 pesos. 30 days. That's 20% interest in 30 days. Now, it can be 500 pesos for 600 pesos. It can be 300 for 20%. It can be whatever it needs to be, but it's over a period of time and it's generally 30 days. All right. Now, people make payments on a daily basis, oftentimes. How does this work? Well, what happens here is it is a vicious cycle. And they borrow money because they need it. They absolutely need it. Either they can't control their finances or they don't have any finances. And it might not be your wife's parents. It may not be your girlfriend's mother or father. It's going to be another family member. If you've been in a relationship for any length of time, you either have or will come across this, and it will apply to you. It could be a cousin. It can be a niece. It can be a nephew. It can be a brother, a sister, a mother, a father. They borrow money. This has literally been around for decades and decades here. Okay? And it didn't originate here, I want you to know. It did not originate in the Philippines, as much as people would like to think it did. But that's a different story. Now, what typically happens is, first off, it's a what do they call it? Wait a second, I want to think of the right word. Predatory. It is a predatory loan. It is a predatory interest rate. It is loan sharking by any means. Now, there's other types of ways that people loan money or get loans, but this is one that is prevalent, highly, highly prevalent. Okay? Now, what happens? Well, what happens is they can't pay it back, or they're borrowing from somebody else to pay that rate, and they're only paying the interest, and it just adds up and adds up. Okay? Let me give you an example or show you an example. Now, in this example, it's easy to see. If the principal's $5,000, the interest rate's 20%, the interest payment's $1,000. If you go for 6 months like this, you have paid $6,000 and paying the interest only. At the end of that, you've paid $6,000 already, and then you've still got the principal to pay back. So that's now $11,000, and it just gets more and more and more. We have seen these things escalate into the hundreds of thousands of pesos. All right? I'm not going to mention where, why, or who. Doesn't matter. So, okay, well, what happens if they don't pay it back? Well, this is a big problem. Believe it or not, when someone has a debt, you can take that person to the barangay and they will, I guess the best word for it is they're gonna enforce that debt to the best of the barangay's ability, try and make out a payment plan or something like that. Some people go and try and renegotiate it right there with that individual. Okay? So the first thing is you have the debt, the utang, all right, or the 5-6. The second thing that you have is the payments. And lo and behold, it's very difficult. I mean, we see, let me tell you just how prevalent this is first. You can go to Fields Avenue, you can go up and down all those shops, okay? If you go get a manicure or a pedicure or whatever, you're going to get, in one of those shops, and you speak Tagalog, you can see the people passing through collecting money. They're actually coming there and collecting money. All right? It's very open. It's very easy to see. Arlen sees it all the time. In the province, they just come to your house and they collect it. It originates also in the markets. A lot of times the people in the market borrow money to buy supplies to sell. And based on all kinds of criteria, how well they know you, how well you're related, your history, whatever, is whether they get utang. Some of them do small written contracts. Some of them don't. Either way, you're going to come into contact with this in some way, shape, or form. So I've told you the first two. Now let's go to the third piece. Why, you're saying to yourself, well, you know what? You got in trouble? They got in trouble that, it's not my concern. Well, it will be. It will be your concern because here's what happens. There is a term, okay? and I'll put it below. It's called palawagan. A palawagan are groups of individuals who pool their money together to a central person that's in charge of loaning money out in these 5-6. And generally what happens is the only people they're loaning money to are people that are relatives of or associated with or neighbors, people they know. They know extremely well. And here's what happens. Let's just say that Susie borrows 5,000 pesos. And Susie doesn't pay her 5,000 pesos back, plus the interest. All of those people that are in that group missed their cut. They put money in this pool. They're missing that interest. They're not making money from it. In fact, they got screwed out of money because wherever it was they made money before, they're 5,000 short, plus the interest. They're short the principal and the interest. This causes the entire family of the person that borrowed the money to come under a lot of stress. They're going to go to the mom. They're going to go to the brother. They're going to go to the sister. They're going to go everywhere. All right? These things happen. And they're just not uncommon. So you need to know what it is. You need to know how it works. And then you need to understand that if somebody doesn't pay off that debt, it can get dirty. It is, they say it's like losing face. All right? I'm not a big fan of that term. Honestly, I'm not. But they say it is. All right? People have used that a term before. But essentially, what they're really doing is pissing off the venture capitalists, the people that are in there doing this. Now, don't get me wrong. Filipinos can go to the bank. It's a totally different story if they can qualify for the loan. But that's what it is. And it's important that you understand it, and then you understand the ramifications and the pressure that you may be under to assist in solving this problem. Because the problems will be out of control by the time you get involved, 9 times out of 10. And how you do it, we're not good for that. We don't tell you how to run your life. We just make you aware of it. Okay? It's one of those things. So consider that. Otherwise, please do subscribe. And thanks. We hope you have a great day.